Hello students, this is Nikhil sir from Physics Gyan, and today I am going to start a new unit number 3rd, magnetic effect due to current. This is very important unit because in this unit we study the relation between electricity and magnetism, because before 1820 it was thought that there is no relation between electricity and magnetism, but at 1820 a scientist Oersted realized that electricity and magnetism were intimately related. Means if there is a electricity, so there is also occurs a magnetism around electricity, and if there is a magnetism, so there is definitely a electricity occurs there. Now the Oersted experiment we also studied in 10th class, and we also know about the Oersted experiment, how Oersted relate the electricity and magnetism by using compass and a current carrying wire. So now the main topic is that magnetic field. The magnetic field is a space, a region around a current carrying conductor or a magnet in which the magnetic effect can be felt. So it is a region in which we can feel the magnetism due to current carrying conductor or due to magnet. It is represented by capital B because it is a vector quantity. That's why we use a vector upon the alphabet B. It is also called magnetic induction or magnetic flux density. Okay, so we also can say that the magnetic field, magnetic induction or magnetic flux density. Now the question is that when a charge is at rest, that there is a field around the charge which is known as electric field. But when a charge is moving, when a charge is moving, there is both the fields, electric field due to charge and magnetic field due to moving charge. So the concept is that when a charge is moving, there is a magnetic field around the moving charge. That's why we can say that a current carrying conductor creates or generate magnetic field around us, because a moving charge create magnetic field, and we know that moving charge is called electricity. Now the main concept or the main thing is that Biot-Savart law. It is very important law, because with the help of this law we can solve so many typical problems which we'll study in further videos. Now the concept is that Biot-Savart law. So Biot-Savart law is also known as Laplace law. It is given by Biot and Savart scientist. Now this law deals with the magnetic field induction at the point due to a small current element. By using the Biot-Savart law, we can find a magnetic field at any point due to a small current carrying element. Current carrying element means a wire, a small piece of wire which carrying current. So we can say that it is a small current element. Because it is a experimental law, so directly we can say that by using experimental proof that before this we can here is a wire of xy carrying current I, and if this wire has a small element, current element dl, there is a point P which is situated r distance apart from current element. So we can say that the dB means a small magnetic field due to dl cross section at point A, at point P, is directly proportional to current I. Means if we increase the current in the wire, the small magnetic field dB also increase, because it is experimental law. So the second thing is that dB is directly proportional to dl. Means if we increase the current element cross section, the dB at point P, means magnetic field at point P also increase. The third experimental proof that the dB is directly proportional to sine theta, where theta is the angle between cross section area dl and the vector displacement vector r. Okay. The fourth point is that dB is inversely proportional to the r square. R is the distance between dl to point r, dl to point P. P is a point at which we have to find magnetic field. On combining, dB is directly proportional to I dl sin theta upon r square. On replacing the directly proportional sign, we write equal and a constant k, where k is the constant of proportionality and k is depend on the medium between point P and current element, and also it depend on the unit. In SI unit, k is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi, and in CGS units k is equal to 1. Generally we use k in a SI units, that's why we generally use k is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi, where mu naught is equal to magnetic permeability of free space. It is like that in electricity we use epsilon naught, where epsilon naught is the permittivity of free space. Like that in magnetism we use mu naught, which is magnetic permeability of free space. And the meaning of magnetic permeability is that how easily the field flow the magnetic field lines through it. So generally mu naught is a magnetic permeability, how easily the field move the magnetic field lines, same as epsilon naught in electricity. So the value of epsilon naught is 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7 Weber ampere inverse meter inverse. And in Tesla form we can say that 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7 Tesla ampere inverse meter, because 1 Tesla is equal to 1 Weber per meter square. On placing the whole values, we can say that in magnitude form dB is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi I dl sin theta upon r square. This is the magnitude form. And in vector form, dB is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi I dl cross r upon r cube, where dl and r in a cross multiplication. Now we can find the direction of magnetic field vector by using right hand thumb rule. You also studied in this rule in 10th class, so we cannot explain this law in this video. If you have any doubt, so you can comment and I will make a video to explain the right hand thumb rule. Now the SI unit of magnetic field is Tesla and CGS unit of magnetic field is Gauss, and the relation between Tesla and Gauss is 1 Gauss is equal to 10 to the power minus 4 Tesla, or 1 Tesla is equal to 10 to the power 4 Gauss. So this is very important law for further topics to explain. So you should prepare this, and keep watching my channel Physics Gyan. Subscribe and like, share, comment. Thank you.